Right. Whenever you're ready, Quinn, we are.
Cool. It is Thursday, February the 5th, 26th. At 4:33, I now call this meeting to order. Welcome, everyone, to our General Assembly meeting of the Madison College Student Senate. This is a public meeting and will be recorded for transparency and record-keeping purposes. We're going to cover a few basic items before beginning. If you lose connection at any point during the meeting, you can reconnect by clicking the link or calling the number in your original email to senators and supporting staff online members. If you're able, please activate your video, keep it on for the duration of the meeting. Please use the raise hand feature when you'd like to be recognized to speak. I'll do my best to monitor for hands. So when you want to ask questions, vote or make a motion. At this time, can I get a roll call, please?
Yes, you may. President Jose Villarreal, are you present? Absent.
Excuse,
right?
that word. So many words.
Vice President of Administrative Affairs, Quinn Matson.
Present.
Vice President of Legislative Affairs, Ash Rogers. Present. Vice President of Team Development, Corey Sertzel.
Present.
Vice President of Public Relations, Ari Nichols.
Present.
Advisor Cole Caliacrado.
Present.
Moving down to our Truex senators, Senator Sanjay Jagdish.
Here.
Senator Annette Crowder.
Here.
Senator Ashley Larson.
Present.
There's a Aaron behind that, sir. Senator Edna Dua.
Present.
Senator Ida Wilno.
Excused.
Senator Sierra Brunner.
Here.
Thank you. And on to our regional campuses, Reedsburg Senator Furkan Cinder.
Present.
Goodman South Senator Bethany Bauer.
There she is.
Present.
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 We have Met Quorum.
Thank you, Vice President. We'll then move down to approval of the meeting minutes. I'll now briefly review the meeting minutes. Call it to order, opening script, roll call. Notable items from the meeting minutes are our public comment with Tim Casper came in, informed us about a lot of small things going on in the next few months. We also hosted Bill Doherty, who followed up on us about some items in one of our resolutions from last semester. We had no disclosures or recusals. We had a full suite of reports from officers, standing committees, special and select committees, branch campuses, shared governance. We had no unfinished business. Our only item of new business was a discussion of the 3-year plan. We had brief non-business housekeeping announcements and then adjournment. Can I entertain a motion to approve the meeting minutes? I saw a hand from Senator Annette Crowder first. Seconded by Vice President Sertzel. It's on the floor. Any discussion? Hearing none, and I am, as I promised, looking online for hands up. Seeing none. Then I would like to pass this by unanimous consent in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Motion is passed. We will now move to the reading and approval of this meeting's agenda. Many similarities to last meeting. Call to order, opening script, all the usual things. We have no public comment planned. We have a team building activity to be led by Vice President Sertzel. We have, again, a full suite of reports from officers, standing committees, special select branch campuses, and shared governance. We have no unfinished business. We have one item under new business, a debrief of the Wisconsin Student Government meeting, non-business housekeeping, announcements, and then adjournment. Can I?
So for the record, For the record, as you see, both folks online and in person, we've got some minor errors of, this looks like to be an old agenda, so when it comes time for your reports, if there is the incorrect person at the report spot, we will correct that for the right person. That'll be reflected in the minutes. Yeah, I'm just looking at it now. It looks like some got a little messed up, so we will correct it in the minutes when we record the proper folks to give the reports. Just want to say that.
Yeah, sure is noted.
I motion to amend the agenda to allow for 10 minutes under new business for the Student Affairs Board budget proposal to be presented by Cole Callioproto.
I second that.
You're motioning to approve the agenda with this amendment.
Yes.
Thank you. And that's seconded by Senator Jagadish. Sorry, the first was Vice President Nichols. The second was Senator Jagadish. Open for discussion? Checking our online friends. Seeing none there, hearing none in person. I would like to pass this by unanimous consent in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Motion is passed. I think we had a team building activity last semester where everyone said what it'd be like to be president for a day. It's not what it's practically to be.
Thank you for that confidence.
Moving down to public comment. We have nothing listed.
Maybe they want to introduce themselves for public comment?
Deer in headlights. Would you all like to say your names just so we can be reminded?
My name is Ali. This is my third time here. And usually same.
If you want, or you're free not
For
to.
now.
I'm Kazaya, this is also my third time here.
Kazaya. Nice.
I'm Ashley, it's also my third time here.
Thank you all for coming. Appreciate your presence.
You have one guest online.
We have one guest online. Thank you, Cole.
Stacy, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi. Introduce yourself. This is Stacy Brunner. I'm in my last year of college. Possibly I may be coming back again next semester. Not sure what else to say.
Nope, that's totally fine. Thank you.
Fine. Thank you. Okay. Hearing nothing, I'm going to close this item on the agenda, our public comment. We're going to move straight into our team building activity.
Yeah,
You're up.
yeah. So today is pretty different from majority of our typical team development activities. I know that we've done a lot of prompts, a lot of thinking about student senate related things. But I just wanted to take some time to just actually just have some fun and not have to worry about all this, because I know that you guys are feeling pretty swamped. And we have been working really, really hard and being very diligent throughout all our initiatives. We're doing a lot. So I just wanted to do a mini game. I don't know if you've ever done it before, but essentially you go ahead and line up in a line based on anything from your birthday or your height or birthday, height. They used to do it in school, and it was a type of icebreaker. And you guys are more than welcome to join. But yeah, no, essentially, I'll just let us know what we're lining up by, and we're supposed to line up without talking.
Oh, that makes sense.
So not a word, not a peep. Yes,
Do you have instructions for the folks that are online?
that is a great question. I'm trying to think of how to do this. I could potentially do a prompt for them because they're online and they could go ahead and do a prompt. I'm unsure what, yes.
Maybe have them use the prompts or the emojis.
Oh,
Figure
yeah,
out.
Yeah.
Whichever, I mean, based on whatever we're doing.
right, yeah. Okay. So for those who are online, you can go ahead and use emojis. You can't type anything. You can't type anything. Just only use the emojis. Like if you have access to emojis, I know we have a handful on the computer, but no words. Yes or no.
Maybe it's like they're not here, but for example, we line by our heights.
Mhm.
The person here is Bruno Sierra, maybe say, I'm between Furkan and Ari in the
Right.
line. Maybe she can just write that.
Right. Yeah, I mean,
That works best.
totally works. Or just based on you can just gauge like if we're doing it by height, then we can go ahead and you can just guess. It doesn't have to be exact, just so that you could get in on it and be able to have fun. But yeah,
And you're gonna instruct us about how we're ordering ourselves?
yes. So essentially, you guys are going to try to communicate with one another, but no words. You're not using any words. You could use your hands. You could, use your body language. It's just the emphasis is to collaborate with one another without verbally communicating. Does that make sense? So based on that, do we feel comfy about like birthdays and stuff? I just want to make sure that everybody feels comfy. We can do it based on birthday month. Is that okay? Sometimes people are touchy about this. Yeah. But yeah, based on birthday month, I want obviously January to be up in front and then
Just gonna go kind of across the front. That way the camera picks them up.
yeah. So essentially January, you're on the left and then December is on the right. No talking Smith now.
And that's all I want to do. Y'all go great.
Okay. I'm gonna start talking. Okay, so starting from Ari's end, going down, can we know your birthday month?
January.
January,
Happy birthday.
March,
April.
April.
September.
December.
November. Oh,
November.
December.
December.
11, no.
So based on that, we're feeling comfy about this activity? Okay,
There was no between April and November.
I know, that's crazy,
unless they're online.
No, I saw 10, so that would be October. That would be October, correct, Sierra?
Yes.
Perfect, awesome. So we only got 2 more on that time.
That's great.
That's great. That's pretty good. That's an A. That's an A.
One.
Huh?
Why two? It has to be one or.
You're November, right?
Yeah, on November, she's December.
But you're December.
December.
She should have been right.
They flip flop. So
Yeah.
she's November.
She was in the right.
You only have to.
She was in the right one time. She was in the
Right.
Oh, okay. One is wrong. Yeah, yes, it is. Okay, that's still an A.
Too big down there.
That's an A.
Mhm.
It's pretty good. Do we want to do another one?
Yes.
So one more. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm gonna do it based on, shoot. Uh,
Let me give you a challenging one.
They were my favorite color.
No, instead of birth month, the day of the month.
that's a good one.
Day?
The day of
The
the
day
month.
of the month.
No, because.
So 1 through 30
30 is 28, but the other month are.
Correct, so we'll line up from 131, and we'll see kind of how that pans out. No, I hear you on that, but I think this will be interesting now that you can't use.
1 through 31, the first of the month being on that left corner, or that left side, and the 31st being close over here.
Everyone can ignore me. Oh, this is kind of funny. Here's a band deer. What'd you say? I literally have a master's degree in this stuff. No. Joke's on you. I did my 10 years of doing this. What? Disqualified. You all fail now. All right, let's go down the line. Let's hear it.
2, 5,
7, 9.
10.
13.
17.
19.
20, 29.
Sierra, what is the day of the month for your birthday?
18.
Okay, awesome. Good.
Now let's do.
That was
it.
easier than the.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Let's do it. All right, credit card number.
Thank you guys very much.
Round of applause. Good job, guys.
She's your career.
Since kindergarten.
Stop letting people choose what to say. Please tell them.
That was,
I couldn't find my thoughts.
that was a lot of fun. I mean, you came up with that on the spot.
Yes, I did.
Oh, that's great. Thank you, Vice President Circle. That concludes our team building activity. We're going to shift down to disclosures and recusals. Change of energy. So if anyone has a disclosure or recusal to state, now is the time. Seeing none in person, remembering people online. Yes, Senator Kravitz.
I don't know when, but we're gonna be presenting to, the cabinet about the, children on campus, policy. So as soon as I know the date, I'll share that with the Senate.
Who's we?
The kids on campus are, the committee. So I saw Tina, was it yesterday? Was it the day before? Tina stopped me yesterday to make sure I was gonna be available for that, but she didn't have a date yet.
Kids on campus, Vice President Rogers.
Disclosing that I have an honors project for cafeteria prices, so not recusing myself, but disclosing that I'm doing that.
Record shows Vice President Rogers is doing an honors project on cafeteria prices. Have any other closures or recusals? Going once. Going once, gone. Moving on to reports of officers, advisors, and standing committees. First, we have Executive Council and President's report from President Lareal. I can step in briefly. We, Executive Council met. We talked about filling in open Senate seats. Glad to see a lot of returning prospective candidates here. We talked about a few things that we have on deck and like how we're going to schedule them out. It feels like scheduling things is getting a little easier. We're gonna be really good at this by the time we're all leaving office, I think. That's how it works. Yeah, that concludes my report. Do you want me to elaborate or add anything? Send me an email. Go ahead, Cole.
Would you be okay, we use a little bit the rest of the time? Did anyone else attend district board yesterday? We just haven't got an update from district board. Would you be okay yielding some of your time?
Yeah, totally.
To hear just what on with district board?
Yeah, I saw Vice President Rogers' hand up first, and then,
Rogers probably knows more. She was there longer.
okay, cool. Go ahead, Rogers.
We had the usual suite of reports that district board has, and then there were two special presentations, one of which by Tim Casper. It was the enrollment data that I believe we have all seen presented to our committee, and the other one was the budget. It was very similar to the one that we saw from Cody White in the fall, but it's now the spring version, so there's a little more. They've gotten the deficit down to, I believe it is $2.8 million, but they're still working on balancing that budget. And that won't be, there's an open meeting for that in April. I believe that district board meeting will be when they look at that. And that's open to the public. Everyone can come in and listen to that. And then they did have another thing. There was a freelance group that wanted to start an education program for arborists, I believe. So they're thinking about approving that, but doesn't really affect us that much. Those are the main things. I might have missed something from one of the initial reports.
No, I don't think you did.
Okay, very good. Enrollment, arborism.
Cool. Our agendas.
Yeah, moving down to Finance Committee. Finance Committee did not spend any time talking about Finance Committee. We spent the entirety of our meeting talking about the half dozen or so club funding requests that came in over winter break. And going through all those and trying to keep up. There's maybe a little bit of a scheduling issue because if something came in halfway through December, we didn't get to it until the beginning of February, and that's just kind of how it shook out. So how maybe to amend that in the future. Was it anything else I should add?
No, that was it.
Sorry, you had a look on your thing. Once again, if you have any questions, send me a Teams message. Find me in the hallway, whatever. Okay, moving down to Rules and Legislative Affairs Committee, Vice President Rogers, what's going on?
We had a meeting, we met yesterday, loving this parliamentary procedure. We meet every Wednesday from 4 to 5. We invite people to show up. We had Ashley as well as other people in attendance, and it was lovely to see those faces, and we got some great feedback. We looked at two main things. First off was a new bill that was brought forward that will probably be introduced next week. So we're probably going to see a bill there. We had a great time talking about it. If you ever want to learn about how to write a bill, that is something we'll probably be talking about next week. So we'll be going over that if you're interested in that at all. And then the second agenda item was just the bylaw revision that we're working on. We were just gathering some more data on that. You can expect that around the turning point of March. That'll probably be the first and second week of March. I believe that concludes my report. Oh, also the Senate calendar has been updated in the Senate office. Beautiful, color coded. Check that out if you want.
Okay, thank you very much, Vice President Rogers. Any discussion, questions briefly?
Are the meetings available virtually too?
Absolutely. They're on Teams every Wednesday, 4 to 5.
The cliffhanger with that bill. Moving on to Team Development Committee, Vice President Zirkle.
Yeah, we have not met. But it doesn't mean that we aren't up to some good things. So I'm still trying to iron out a time for you all to meet with me. Just trying to figure out what's going to be the best thing, because now we solidified a time for our EET meetings. So knowing that you guys should be able to hear from me actually tonight, and we'll try to come to a conclusion by hopefully the end of this week so that we can maybe meet next week. But super excited to be able to get started. I know that we had mentioned that we are potentially going to go ahead and do a food drive for our student cupboard here at my apologies, Truax, but, I'm hoping to hear back from Denise. I'm gonna go ahead and email her again. But yeah.
Good things on the horizon.
Yes.
Any discussion or quick questions for Vice President Searle? Everyone's trying to avoid my gaze. Online as well. Okay, well, if you have any questions that come up later, you're welcome to email or team Vice President Searle. For now, we're going to move down to Public Relations Committee. Vice President Nichols, what's going on?
Yeah, so as you heard, the bill that was reviewed by Rules and Legislative Affairs is the bill to buy a bunch of new tabling merchandise. So that's been reviewed, and as you heard, will probably be on the agenda for next week. As well, we are now, what is it? Elections will also start next week. All of the materials for that are repped for the most part. I think the only things that we're really still missing out on material wise is, actually, I think we have everything. I think we're just waiting for the banner, that big one that they put out there, to be reformatted and fixed, and then that would be like the last thing. But otherwise, what else? I had one other thing. I can't remember. I'll tell you guys during my other report if I remember. That concludes my report.
Okay, wonderful. Sounds like more news is on the horizon. Do we have any discussion or quick questions for Vice President Nichols? Seeing nothing in person, seeing nothing online. We will move on to our advisor report. What's going on, Advisor Khalil Cradival?
Apparently my face is what's going on. First off, Winterfest. Hopefully you all heard us talk about it.
That's what I forgot.
Well, I beat you to it. Next week, Tuesday from, what time is it?
11 to 1.
I think I was gonna say 11 to 1. 11 to 1 at the Truax campus, D1630. Senate has a spot. If you can be there from 11 to 1 next Tuesday, we are Winterfest tabling. I will be there. If I have to table, so be it. But if you can be there, please, please, please go up, help out. It'll be great. We will also have one the following Tuesday on the 17th, Goodman South, 11 to 1. As of right now, we don't have anyone that's going to be there yet, solely because that's the same day as the legislative seminar. So if you can be there even for an hour at the Goodman South campus from 11 to 1, represent Senate, please do so. I don't want to have to beg Ashley to run 2 tables for your health educator and Senate, but I just might, we'll see. If you can commit to it, please let me know if you can commit to it. I'm happy to have you there. That does come for office hours. NACA. So NACA is the National Association of College Activities. Folks who attended SGI, same thing that ran SGI. They are actually going to be offering a 2-day event in Milwaukee. It is $180 for the day. Student Life has agreed to send some students if they're interested with those day passes. I believe it's going to be happening in March. Don't quote me for sure, but I believe it's in March. So if you would like to attend NACA, this small educational session, let me know. It's going to be a firm commitment. I will find out the day tomorrow. I will ask Ellie to remind me one more time if it's March or it's April, but it is open to anybody who would like to attend for that 1-day session. They'll do day passes, they'll get you travel, all that good stuff. WSG, just as a reminder, the legislative seminar is upcoming. And to those of you who are either attending the entirety of the event or those of you who are also just going to show up to meet politicians, an email will go out tomorrow to all of you. VP Nichols gave a great segue that we have a variety of new marketing materials up and ready to go, including you'll see this flyer all over the place. We have 8.5 by 11 flyers. We have quarter sheets. We have custom things going to the branch campuses. We have digital in every which way, shape, or form. What I'm going to ask is that you please spread the word for people to start applying for Senate to be on the ballot for next year. It opens 8 a.m. this upcoming Monday. And yes, there will be an email that goes out to all 11,000 people, including yourselves, letting you know if you want to run, meet the criteria, you can go ahead for it. As a reminder for the criteria, I'm already over time, I know that, is going to be 1, you have to be enrolled in at least 6 degree seeking credits for the upcoming fall semester. Summer is great, but fall, and you have to have a minimum 2.5 cumulative GPA. Anything above 2.5 is great, but those are my two things. If you're not in 6 credits or you're below 2.5, you cannot run on the ballot. Yes,
That 2.5 does not apply to first semester students.
correct. And if this is right now your first semester, right now, you can run without a GPA. But you are held to that standard after your GPA is posted. If it's below 2.5, you can be removed from your spot. Office hours, I've gotten about a little over half of folks. If you have not submitted your office hours to me yet, I need you to submit them to me by this weekend so that I can create the schedule, you can have everybody held accountable, and I can get it to Student Life and post it on Wolfpack Connect. We have had students asking when Senate's going to be in the office. They've come to the desk 3 separate times now when nobody is here. I've talked with them. They want to talk to a student. So please give me your time so I can get that posted. Please and thank you. For election marketing stuff, if you see anything else out election marketing wise that isn't the stuff that you'll see all around campus, it's all pretty much going to look the same. Something completely different, let myself or VP Nichols know if there's still some outdated marketing out there that I don't want individuals to use because it will not have a working QR code. Besides that, trying to think if there really is anything else. Oh, I've been asked this question. I just want to put it out there to you all. For your office hours, if you would like to just table every week during your office hours, like table out in the open area, you can do that. I'm totally fine with that. Let me know if you're planning to do that. I will help you reserve the space. And at least next week, if not the following week, the tabling stuff that VP Circle has put together, we will disseminate to you all as well to get that up and running. And again, I will handle the logistics of it. I just need you to show up. A lot of information there. Questions for me? I know I gave you all a lot, I'll be honest. No. All right, expect to see everybody's office hours by this Sunday. Thank you all.
Okay, thank you, Advisor Khalil Crotto. We will now move to reports from special and select committees. The first of these special and select committees is the Student Activities Board. Student Activities Board met last week. We discussed some budgetary decisions that the Student Activities Board will have to make concerning the transportation fee in particular. The transportation fee in particular was raised last year because our reserves were dwindling. We have now made back a lot of money and we're talking about lowering it again, how much to lower it by. I'd love to give you more details at a different time if you want to catch me after or send me a Teams message. Annette was also there. Annette can fill in all the details. We also picked our presentation day. Presentation day is March 6th, which means that the previous week's Thursday, which I believe is February 26th, that's when I, with Annette's help, will present the 3-year plan and Senate's 26-27 budget to the General Assembly. And you're all, as Annette said before, we ask that you bring comments, questions, critiques, so that we have answers for all of those things when we meet them again next week at the SAB meeting. I think that's all I could say about it. Any quick questions?
Can I add one thing on to that?
Yeah, please.
The reason why we have, more money is because the school took over the $12 parking fee that's listed on everyone's thing. Don't know why, but we're thankful that they did.
Yeah, more power to them. So that's one less thing that SAB needs to pay for. It's being paid for directly by the college out of the general fund. Okay, taking a moment, seeing no hands up, no flags on the play. We're going to move to Textbook Affordability Committee, which is incorrectly marked for Senator Holtby. That should be Senator Brunner. Senator Sierra Brunner, do you have a report for us?
No report. We haven't met yet. I believe we're meeting at the end of the month.
Okay, meeting at the end of the month. Thank you, Senator Brunner. Moving on to International Student Affairs Committee. Senator Sindar, what's going on?
Your favorite committee. So,
That's the other.
yeah. So last thing first, we will start our meetings next week, Friday, 3 to 4 p.m. It will be hybrid and public to everybody. So who's interested, you can just come, stop and say hi and that. So I want to give some good news. Our company is noticed by CA students and the faculty members. I want to start with CA. They are so excited to move our collaboration with CA and our committee spring semester too. And they are so happy our role as a bridge between Senate, CA, and international students. So they want to do a lot of great work with us. In the student side, we have a lot of new committee members, which they are willing to participate this semester, both domestic and international students. In the faculty part, this is not one, multiple faculty member tell me their greetings about our committee and we make some impact. They give us feedback and their feedback is so important. And we have one actually small, but for us it's so big impact. So we had issue because when you are international students, you need to get 12 credits and 9 should be person. But once our school don't have enough person or hybrid class, we can't fulfill this opportunity. And so some of the majors close for us. So this situation talk in IT department and some of the faculty member advocate our international students hybrid class. Some of them want to make more online class, but I think right now there's something so good happen. So they changed this to most of the class this format. I would like to show you. Online, 50% bigger than hybrid, which is making online for our domestic student, they can attend. But once they put hybrid, this fulfill our visa requirement of 9 credit person class. So us and faculty member with our feedback, with their feedback, I think this is our common ground we find, and this is great thing happened to us. So we now have a lot of more option about classes. I just want to share that. That's my conclusion.
Some applause. Thank you.
Mhm.
Awesome to hear. Kim, I just wanted to ask that you could clarify when and where the committee meets. It's second Fridays,
Yep.
and then last Friday.
Every second Friday of the month, we are meeting with CA in CA office, and every last week of the month, we are only meeting student meetings so they can feel free to say what they want to say, or we can tell our ideas without under supervising, and we can be ready when we talk with CA. So next week, it's gonna be second week of the month, we will meet with CA, and then 2 weeks later, we will meet just members, just students.
Okay, yeah, very cool. And everyone's encouraged to attend if they want to see what's going on there. With respect to the time, I'm going to move on to reports from branch campuses. Incorrectly printed, 3 of these are vacant. Those that are not, Goodman South will be our first. Senator Bauer, do you have a report?
I got to meet with some students yesterday in person, and I got to make a PowerPoint about getting involved with the school. And one of the things I talked about was getting involved with Student Senate and some things that Student Senate has accomplished. So it was nice to be able to talk to students who feel like they maybe don't have enough time and explain like how they can work this into their schedules. So I'm happy to see more of them interested in applying for the
That's awesome. Yeah.
But that's all I have for you. Yes, I think Annette has been at Goodman South more this semester. I don't know if you have anything else.
I can add to that. I took over, not took over, but I took stuff over for tabling, including our Goodman South banner. So that's on I talked to Nancy, so it's right up front. So not when you see the white part, but when they turn it, you can see it. So students that are going out of the building will see our banner. And then Cole's gonna check in to see about tabling space for us. And I did ask the lady, I can't remember her name, in student life. Allie, yes, if she knew anything, she wasn't sure, so I mean.
Figured out. Okay, very cool. That's awesome to hear from everyone involved. briefly, any other questions for Senator Bauer? Discussion? Seeing none in person, seeing none online. We will move on to Reedsburg campus. Senator Sindor, do you have a report?
I don't have a report.
Okay, thank you. Then moving on to reports from College Assembly and Shared Governance Councils. First up is College Assembly from Vice President Rogers. What's going on?
We have not met since the last time. There is a meeting coming up this Tuesday, so in like 5 days. Are we looking for someone to attend that meeting or are we not doing that?
So we'll make a decision here shortly. For the time being, if you'd like to attend, it's kind of going back to what Annette asked before. We'll have a collection of all the meetings, date, times, locations, and how to access them. But yeah, just know for now, some changes are coming. There's a meeting this upcoming Tuesday, 2:30 to 4:30 p.m.
That concludes my report.
Okay, thank you. Tuesday, 2:30 to 4:30. It will be on all of your calendars. Moving on to Academic Council. Senator Wilmo is excused, so there'll be no report. Facilities Planning and Investment Council. I have yet to provide a report because I have yet to attend their first meeting, unfortunately. Moving down to Finance Council. Senator Larson, do you have a report?
I do not. We have not met since the last time, but we will be meeting next week on the Friday, on the 13th from 10:30 to 12. And if anyone is interested in learning about the world of finance or budgets, please shoot me an email. That concludes my report.
Okay, thank you very much. Any quick comments, discussion? Thoughts? Nothing. I should note, to steal a little time, FPIC, Facilities Planning and Investment Council, will be meeting February 17th. I'm unsure if they're meeting every 2 weeks still. I've been invited to, I think, only monthly meetings. February 17th, in person or online, 2 to 4 p.m. That's a Tuesday. Thank you, that's all. So that was Finance Council. I'm now moving down to another error on this General Assembly agenda. Information Technology Council should be vacant. We've not yet filled that spot. So we will now move to Student Affairs Council with Vice President Nichols.
Yeah, so nothing from Student Affairs. However, the JED Campus Group does have some information updates. So, next week, Wednesday, from 8:30 to 3:30 is the JED campus visit. So we will have people from the JED organization come to the campus and tour it and do some other fun things. I'm not actually sure what the agenda is. I'll be honest, it hasn't been posted yet. I have been told to bring my computer and my lunch order was taken, so that's nice. You can come if you'd like. You will not be provided lunch, sadly. That ship has sailed. But you can still come. We will be talking in depth about the survey results, the implementation of those results, and sort of really trying to lay the groundwork of what the mental health facilities will look like after the JED campus up, or after the JED program refurbishment and update of those services. So hopefully next week I'll have even more to tell you guys about it. But for now, what I can say is that I will probably need more than just the student affairs time for it. So expect a full-on report at some point soon. That concludes my report.
Okay, we're on the edge of our seats. Vice President Rogers.
Being stared at. Just adding something quick to that, from 3:30 to 5 that day is the student section where they're seeking student input. So I was invited to that independently from Senate and I will be attending. And I do think there is extra pizza at that one.
Yes, that is a different thing. I forgot about that. Thank you. Because I'm not allowed to partake in that one actually. So yeah, that is something they're looking for students to talk to and get ideas from as well. Kind of, I think they want, what was it? I don't remember the exact number, but they wanted a small group of students to work pretty much as a focus group. So if that's interesting to you, do it. There is pizza involved.
Yeah, if you have any more questions about this, about Jet Foundation work or Student Affairs Council, feel free to reach out to Vice President Nichols or about this student focus group or the pizzas they'll have, reach out to Vice President Rogers. That concludes our reports from College Assembly and Shared Governance Councils. So we will now move down to unfinished business, where we have none. Delightful. Moving on to new business. We have two items. One of them was added at the beginning of this meeting. The first is Wisconsin Student Government Debrief.
Yeah, that's me. 1 second. Okay. So we're gonna go over the position paper that has been written up by the Wisconsin Student Government. As soon as I remember where that paper is.
You want me to
my
pull it up?
computer. Yeah, you know what? Go pull it up for me, because otherwise I'm just gonna go into our DMs and pull it up there anyways. But so this position paper, as Cole pulls it up, was sent out to all of the people we plan to talk to at the legislative seminar. So it really covers a lot of the topics that we wanted to cover. I know. Oh, you're being really slow.
That's not good.
There we go.
I'm just waiting for you to make a hiccup and all.
So, yeah, so so as you can see, top priority here is they want to have a 2 million recurring funding being designated. That's something new. There's not, yeah.
Guys, give some background quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so, I have some background, Ari will share, and then Furkan, have anything you'd like to add with this as well, as I know that you've been at some of the, you've been at the WSG meetings. Things to understand about this real fast is that this legislative position paper is put together regardless if we're in a budget year or not. If you all know, Wisconsin operates on a biennial budget, which means we do budget requests every 2 years. This is an off year. We are not requesting money per se, or cannot be requesting money that can be put to a budget. We can ask for like one-time funding. So what you're gonna see here, what it states, if it says recurring funding, that means different from one-time funding. Recurring funding means that this is something that's gonna be requested, hopefully continued in the state budget for the WTCS, versus other, general stuff that is kind of stated out there. So as Ari kind of reads through this and gives you the understanding, yeah, just recognize that this is done every single year, even if we're not requesting direct recurring money from the state budget. And we can talk a little bit more as to why it's formed this way. All right, go ahead, Ari.
Cool, thank you. Yeah, so like Cole said, all of that. What they want to allocate the money to is open educational resources, which they specify specifically as like textbooks and other study materials. They were given a one-time $3 million investment into that. And so they're hoping to instead change that to a 2 million recurring. They have some facts on here, so I'll just go through them real quick. Open educational resources, also known as OER investment, is really high. So for every dollar spent is about $4 in student savings, which sounds weird because, that's not really how numbers are supposed to work. But when it gets down to it, a lot of what we see is that resources like this, when provided by the state or just by a higher level, they don't make big sweeping cuts to the costs of being a student, but they chip away at it. So you'll see something like this probably maybe take off only $5 or $6 from your tuition. But then the idea is that the next one would also take that money off. So it's a reoccurring thing. Here at Madison College, we don't have the same sort of costs for textbooks because of the textbook rental program, obviously. So you'll see their third fun fact is that the average technical college student pays between $600 and $1,200 annually. Since we, again, have that textbook rental program, we don't pay as much. So that's pretty nice for us. But obviously for our sister schools, it'd be very nice to have that extra funding. What else is in here? You haven't swooped down, okay. So, again, I'm not gonna read this whole paragraph on the side here, but I do recommend you do, and I'm pretty sure Cole will share this document with everyone. What I do want to go over though is the challenges in the WTCS career services. So a problem that they're seeing, at least if I understood it correctly, and read it correctly, is that after after getting these degrees, there is still a lot of trouble with actually getting employment afterwards because of things like internships or already existing job requirements. And the WTCS is trying to figure out a way to sort of expand operations so that, you know, instead of a student leaving with a technical degree and then just being out of luck, you know, they're already set up with a company or a union or some sort of contracting. That way that eliminates that sort of fear and allows more students to easily, you know, go through the system and also feel more secure while going through the system. Knowing that, and I'll speak from my cousin's experience who goes to Madison College here as an electrician student. He had a very difficult time finding work as an electrician's apprentice. Even though he already had the technical degree, just because a lot of the time unions and companies already have people with a couple of years of experience. Obviously, if you get a trade, you're typically in that trade for a very long time. And so what we see is sort of a lot of barriers in people moving into those technical fields, not only about things like, you know, I'll be honest, there's a lot of discrimination within the technical field, just flat out. Even without that, the amount of people getting technical degrees is going up, but the amount of people with technical degrees not in technical positions is going up even faster. So the WTCS wants to remedy that. And then I think, yeah, like I said, I'm not going to read this whole why they support the increase in funding. You can if you want to. It's pretty self-explanatory. Cole, do you have anything else to add?
Actually want to defer to our Lieutenant Governor.
Yeah.
If there's anything you'd like to add to this, I know we really didn't play a whole big role within this process, but if you want me to scroll around before I speak, let me know if there's anything you want to talk about regarding that.
Yep, I would like to add something, actually. So I already say everything about what's going on with WTCS. So I would like to make a critic about WTCS here as a governor. Like he said, we already solved the problem of textbook affordability in our school, but because of some school didn't solve this problem, we need to support this too and ask for budget. But I feel like in WTCS, there is a lot of asking budget than doing projects or how can we solve this. And right now we are working on one project. Cole is helping me. How can we recruit more international students who is already here, come with seasonal work visas or different kind of work visas or language school? How can we show them pathway, improve our diversity in our schools, and increase our income and talent ability? I will try to present that to Brandon, and so maybe this project will give some ideas to other governors and they will do some projects too. But in my opinion, what I'm seeing exactly, they will always give us budget and we will ask. That's no problem. But I think we should also do those extra projects, how we can support WTCS system. Thank you.
I'd like to add on to that. Regarding point number 2 specifically, this is just a draft. And during the January meeting, a lot of schools brought up that maybe specifically focusing on an internship coordinator position wouldn't be the best way for the funds to fit their school. And so there was talks of the people in charge of this, who like put everything here together, go back and edit it, where it's not specifically asking for anything, but just an overall like an office or just more funding. So if there's already like an office there for this kind of thing, more funding to them. Or if they don't have an internship coordinator, then making one of those or something like that along those lines for each like school. So even though it's overall still focused on this aspect of like after they're done, they get their things, we're trying to help them afterwards. It's more not like this is what we're gonna give the money for. Like we're gonna give you this and like these are like a few options. Like this is where we want it to go into. You can kind of figure out a tiny bit how it's actually going to go into there. And so they're going to touch up a lot on number 2. There were a couple small things with number 1 and the last one, which weren't too that big actually. So those 2 should stay mostly the same. And again, I feel like Cole will like back this up. The first one especially wasn't really like our idea at all. It's kind of like pushed onto us too. So like that was already kind of like, I wouldn't say like set in stone, but it's already kind of like, hey, this is what we want you to do. So we're highly going to like suggest that you do it. So it ended up on there. The third one's honestly probably going to stay pretty much the same. But yeah, so this is just a draft. The second one will get touched up quite a bit from what I've heard. And we'll be using this, but when we talk this month to everyone at the state capitol, then we will still be advocating for what we need as Madison College instead.
Okay. Yeah, so for OER, first off, have any of y'all ever used like an online textbook that wasn't charged to you? Some of y'all, where it's like, hey, this made it available. So that's an open educational resource. For those of y'all who don't know what an open educational resource is, it is basically a resource that has been pulled together that is available publicly without charge. It can be used recurring fashion. So something that stands out is we've seen it a lot with if you're in any of the applied arts and business courses, they'll reuse those same textbooks. And what it's there for is to try and create this renewable and reusable resources, specifically textbooks and other texts that would not require students to either purchase them or to have to rent them. OER is a big topic. Can't give you my opinion on it, but I will tell you this. Madison College has not only textbook affordability working on this, we have 2 subcommittees for the entire college that goes to the state to talk about OER. This is something that's on our forefront, something that we are actively working on. And so one of the things with this, like I already mentioned, which is good to know, and I'm speaking this to all of you, because if you ever do end up meeting with politicians, this is a good thing to talk about, is that the savings to students and to the college are massive. It's every $1 spent saves the students $4. And I also believe every $1 spent saves the college $7. So over that time frame, you do scale of math, Madison College, in theory, since we've been working with this OER within OER, we've saved well over $2 to $3 million, which is money and funds that can go into other things. Because again, typically those resources and stuff are coming in through general fund, and the general fund is a gigantic pot of money that everybody funds for. So it's an important aspect of it. Yes, as Sanjay stated, that is something just to know that we are very lucky that the college does care a lot about this and actually has work groups. And in fact, we'll be expanding hopefully in the future next year to allow students to serve on those work groups as well, because that would best support and have us understand what OER related materials are needed in this area. Expanding funding for support and career services. Yeah, I'll be honest with you, I don't know. This came up as a way because it is correct. The statistics show that we do have quite a few students. Let's say of the 100% of students that graduate this upcoming spring. I'm not trying to be negative about this, but truthfully is this, a lot of places will claim, we have a 98% placement rate in employment 6 months after graduation. That's any employment. And what you do tend to find, and this is across all higher education, I'm not gonna lie to you here, that 98% is more like 40%. The 40% of people are getting a job in the field that the degree was dictated towards, and the remaining amount end up in a job that maybe they've had previously, or a job that's a placeholder in between while they're trying to find additional employment, like mentioned from RA within the within like the tech field specifically. There's a overabundance of, apprentice electricians, but not enough journeymen, which allow the electrical companies to be in, proper process and allow them to have enough folks on more technical stuff than you need to know. But that is one thing that was brought forward with it. It is still, we are still unsure. We will advocate to support our schools, advocate for ourselves, but we are still unsure how that money would be allocated and indicated because pre-employment services for us does have these type of options available, including post-graduation. I believe you can still access them up to a certain point post-graduation. And then finally, expanding Wisconsin grants is exactly how it sounds. As you can see with the award money listed here of what's the average amount that goes to each student from Wisconsin grants, and they're looking to hopefully grow this for the technical college system. I'll share this all with you. I got this yesterday in a hopefully finalized format, just because of the legislative seminar coming up. And I encourage you all, look over it. Form your own opinions. If you like something, great. If you don't like something, come talk to me about it. Talk with Verkan or Sanjay as they're your representatives. We can't change this. Unfortunately, that's the way we go. But this can also form your opportunity where if you are looking to return to either Madison College or another WTCS school next year, in April, we'll have our final WSG meeting in which they will elect in new executive team. And I will be honest with you, and I mean this wholeheartedly, the executive team is what makes or breaks how this organization operates. I'm not saying that because Kai and Annette represented us very well in the previous WSG team, but it comes to show that when we want to advocate for the technical college schools, that we're trying to put the best interests of all schools ahead. I'm not saying we're not doing that here, but as you've heard and as you're forming their own opinions, there are aspects and avenues that could better support Madison College that maybe aren't being represented here the best way. And again, I'm not talking down on them. If you want to talk with a politician, you want to come to the seminar and speak with them, we're going to talk about stuff like this. We're going to advocate, but we also are going to throw in our own thing of what's going to best support Madison College, because in the end, that is our due diligence and our what we operate with. Your turn. Anything else you want to add?
No, not really. I think you mostly covered it. I was gonna talk a little bit about the Wisconsin grant. The big reason that they want more money is because we have the highest amount of students that qualify and receive the least amount of money. So like Cole said, it's pretty self-explanatory why they would want more than. Yeah, but that otherwise finishes it. If you have more questions, please, as he said, address them to the people he said to address. If you want to come to the legislative seminar, please do. Obviously, I will be there. I think in the email we sent out, we said we will have 3 to 5 people coming. So, feel free to stop by. If we have more than that, I don't think they'll stop us. Do we have like a hard limit on how many people we can have?
No, but from last year, what we typically try to do is keep it to that amount.
Okay.
Split it up between groups. We've done that before.
All right, well, there's your answer.
I also want to add, so this is not a question or something. I just want to comment that there is no any spot for international students in Wisconsin grants, even one spot. That's fine, but also some of faculty members concerned about open education resources because they are believing. I heard multiple people and I asked them why, and they told me that what if open education resources reduce our quality as college? Because once when you make something free, everybody start to put something inside, and we can track the quality in some point. So that's their concern, and I just want to share with you too.
Only things for you all to know, those of you attending to speak with politicians, if you decide to surprise me and you show up and you didn't tell me before you're going to show up, surprise. We have 4 politicians we're looking to meet with. One of them serves on the Assembly Council for colleges and universities. We did reach out to the chair of the Joint Finance Committee for the Senate that controls the budget, and then 2 additional representatives who represent within our districts. We do have 4 out there we're trying to schedule. Hopefully we get at least 3 of them. It's a great opportunity with that. And then, yeah, that's really kind of how it goes. We will be able to probably debrief more about WSG Probably not that immediate Thursday following, but maybe into the future to give more insight upon it because it's gonna be a lot to kind of take in and recognize.
Looking around, anything else should be added to this discussion? Nothing from our senator online or Senate members in person. That being the case, I'm going to close this item of business and we'll move on to our second item of new business, which is a brief overview of the Senate's 26-27 budget.
We just take 2 minutes. I remember that.
Yeah, 2-minute recess.
Right back.
You can do whatever you want.
Yeah. It's a recess.
Yeah, it's recess. Go play. And,
I have no access to the law.
shoot.
When.
Yep.
You gotta update the, what's it called? Spreadsheet on, the SharePoint. You still have the fall timesheet in there?
Shoot.
Queen, you know, you really should do. I've nothing for you, but you know, 3 is the magic number.
Okay. There's one button on the SharePoint that never actually led to the right place. So I hope you're not referring to that one.
No, it's not. It's the one from.
Everyone's changing their hair color.
Yeah, I saw you dyed your hair the
It's
other
the
day.
one from, it's
Not
literally
the
just
other day,
the,
it was a while ago,
timesheet.
sorry.
Yeah, the one with the little
But
font.
yeah, he also
Yeah.
dyed his hair.
Just use access.
And
screen
also, it's
for now.
the
I am.
I think I'm trying to
Delivery one?
add the link
Like, I
into
haven't
my
seen that
email
one, and I
reminders,
come
which
back
will,
and it's a different hair color.
as of next week, be sent.
And I know some people are coming back.
And I was like,
Yeah, we're still on recess.
Tag, you're it.
My
Yeah.
bag, like, it like.
Gonna blow a whistle, we all line up our last
That,
name
like,
and then walk
opens
in
like
together.
this On both sides, and it was like coming apart. I thought it was running, so I was like holding it like.
Oh, no. Like armor time.
Yeah. That was fun.
Yeah.
Not really.
I like your
Oh.
phone.
By the way,
What?
so did you read the thing?
No.
I sent
Dr.
you?
Burns
The
visited
25 the 25
the building
points.
today.
Oh, yeah. I put
Good.
it in AI to summarize this and then I'm like, this is
Instructor person you were gonna talk
And then
to?
I stopped reading.
Yeah.
So it's being put in the
Yeah.
big people.
Is that one?
Why? You are not putting up.
I think they're gonna get.
No, not the whole thing, but we're gonna take the ideas out of it and put it in.
Already had
It's
a
just a bunch of.
budget.
Yeah, I saw you had
And
bullet
they already
points.
got
It's beautiful in bullet points. I need to turn it into a long form
To
essay.
send it to.
Yeah, I forwarded it.
Sorry, I forgot to update you. And she said when she goes to the meeting, she'll pull out what she's
Yeah, but he read it now. Really like.
Huh?
And I need to
Not
elaborate.
Dr.
I will give you the
Well,
bullet points. Yeah, I will give you the bullet points, but those are pretty much all but the very last one he said we can do.
I'll give it a minute for Annette to come back. Good to go.
And the last one was just pay release how many votes people got.
You're doing great, Chris.
Yeah, can't wait to see that.
And it's on.
You should send me this. You should send it to me.
Sounds good.
Does it exist?
I have not started on it.
I
What
know.
did you see for fun?
When's it gonna exist?
I don't know. Probably like the day before committee.
What's the day before the meeting?
It's like go to deadline. I think it's the
It's pretty weird, like, vocal rights.
No, it'll be fine.
24th.
All right, I'm gonna watch the folks online.
Got like 3 more days.
I will. You want me to grab something?
Yeah, well, cause I know it's
Well,
really light.
That's fine.
You let me know.
All right,
okay.
Okay.
how's it look on mine? Somebody, you see the screen? All right,
Hey,
back in.
we're back at it.
Thank you for that. Folks online, if you are having trouble seeing anything like that, feel free to drop something in the chat. I won't see it on a live time. Folks in the gallery here to do so. But I want to give you this draft. This is like a 90% complete draft. We won't finalize this until we finalize it through your plan. But I want to talk with you all about the budget. First thing, this is not a hidden thing. If you want to know what's all included in our budget, money, what we spent it on, is in the executive council portion of SharePoint. And I believe it's under 25-26. It's right there. It says budget. You can't, yeah, 25-26. You can't miss it. I update it weekly. So again, full transparency, it is there. Don't change anything. Don't. I need it all to stay the same. But you can see everything we spent our money on, from how much we've spent on travel all the way to how much do we pay the Clarion for being in their ad space. So let me talk to you about last year's budget. That is this section here. Last year's budget was a challenge, put it that way. Many of you are reaping the rewards of it, and I'm not trying to say it's meaning, but you are, because former President Brito, as well as former VP of Administration and Finance Long Tao, advocated for an increase in compensation to Senate, as Senate had not necessarily received a significant increase in compensation as compared to other organizations. I also have think, don't quote me on it, but I don't believe we have the highest, I don't believe we are the highest student help budget request. I think somebody beats us on that. Don't quote me on that though. But as you can see, this is what we requested last year. And again, we got that. So right now, our current operating budget is the numbers that you see highlighted there. First off, do you have any questions, general questions? I'm going to go into detail about other things in a moment here, but general questions about what you're seeing. VP Nichols.
Can we get that copy and printing budget up?
I don't think I have it on here, but what do you want to know about it?
I want you to increase the amount we allot for it.
We did last year.
Can you increase it again?
No.
Okay.
But we can think about it in the future. I'll talk about future here in a moment. So as you can see, the largest amount of money that we need is student help to compensate for the number of senators that joined Senate. I'll get you one moment. Cost is about $55,000. This is also at a 80% rate. We actually do not fund Senate student help 100%. We anticipate that there will always be 2 positions open. And I will tell you that other organizations that have a large group operate in the same way. So in any year, we anticipate that we will only fill 18 of 20 positions, which in theory has been correct the last 3 years. Now, let's say we have all 20 positions filled and we're just like, wow, everyone wants to participate. Great stuff. We can actually go to the SAB for a one-time increase to that budget line to allow us to save folks. But again, we go in with the understanding and operation that it's an 80% student help. We anticipate 80% of student help to be filled, not 100%. VP Rogers.
C4 and D4, what does CY and PY stand for?
PY is previous year, CY is current year. So last year, previous year, we asked for that amount of money. This year, current year, we're about to ask for this much. So I'm operating that way. I understand that that's right budget terms, but just letting you know this is what it was. So last year, we did see significant increases to student help. I think we had about a 20% increase overall for student help budget. And then we saw, besides student help, we had a 2% increase everywhere else. So we ended up asking for about 24%, which, take it for what it's worth. You all got paid. I think that's a win, right? All jokes considered. In terms of what goes into each of these sections, all of these should be roughly understanding of what's there. If you want to know specifically what we set aside for, the 3-year plan actually has this broken down, as will the upcoming 3-year plan will have this broken down of what we're earmarking this money for. So I'm not asking for food. Here I don't have anything there, but I have it somewhat under this section. What would we spend typically on food? And this is actually changed now. We've updated this so that it reflects more of what we're currently doing, because we will not be doing town hall, but we will be doing required tabling in which snacks can be provided. So we do adjust that so we can make sure we're being completely transparent about that. Any other questions about our previous budget requests that we asked for last year and are operating with right now? VP Rogers?
Our advertising budget, I'm noticing we're asking for $200 less. That old budget, $350, did that account for the, whatever it was, 1,800 percentage jackets?
Yes.
Is that why that's so high?
Yes, that is correct. So we actually did some maneuvering because I was told that the advertising budget, that line as controlled by the budget office, would include us buying apparel. That's what I was told.
And the reason it's so high next year compared to where it would be without the Senate jackets this year is why.
I'm gonna get to current year in a second. I'm just asking about last year's, but no, I'll get to that. I'm gonna break down each of these as to why they are this way. I'm honestly, any general questions you have? If not, I'll move on ahead. That's fine. Let's move ahead then. Let's talk about what we're asking for this year. We're asking for approximately $1,000 increase to student help. Now, we just got a 22% increase in student help pay last year. Why are we doing that? 3 reasons. 1, we're actually reducing the amount of hours for the president's role from 19 to 18 hours. That is going to be operating during the semester for the president next year. We just recognized in trends that unless we have somebody who is like literally living and breathing, being at Madison College, which we have come to find out many of y'all have lives outside of it, we're never really hitting that max 20 hours. So that'll be a reduction, which now you're wondering, why did it go up? We're going to be increasing the hours overall, 2 hours in the summer, 1 hour in the spring and fall for the vice president of administration finance role. Last year, when the budget was created, and the change was made to our bylaws under former President Brito, the VP of Administration Finance role became hourly. Prior to this year, it was a stipend like all of the other vice president roles. The executive team determined with a vote to change the bylaws that the VP of Administration Finance does do a lot of additional work that can be actually be monetized and looked at in hourly rates instead of just general projects and tasks like many other folks take on, which is why general senators, you are paid in a stipend because we measure based upon what was your completion like and not necessarily the time to put into it. So there's a blessing and a curse to it. You could put in 15 hours when we're working on something and you're still like the competition is still the same as someone who can complete their task in a shorter time. Don't ask me why we operate that way, but I know that we cannot have 20 people hourly on set. I just know that I will lose that fight. So that role will see an increase in its hours, thus rising would actually be about an $800 increase overall to our budget. The other $200 are coming because across the board, the college is increasing all student hourly rates by 25 cents next year. So if you are an hourly position next year, it'll be finalized hopefully in April, but what I was told today is that it'll be $15.25 and $16.25 respectfully for student hourly pay rates. That resulted us in increasing by about $1,000. And again, we're simply adjusting the position because the VPAF position, this was honestly a trial run to see if the amount of hours that position had was going to work. And as Quinn can tell you, he works a lot and sometimes we go over those hours. Sometimes we budget for it. This should right size it though. This should allow us to be able to operate effectively with that role. So that means during the school year, the administration finance position will be at 11 hours during the week, which we have calculated out closely that should be a roughly standard amount, removing any of the things you're paid additionally for like SAB and those other aspects. And in the summer, we'll cover that because 6 hours in the summer was not enough when you actually do the math behind it. Questions about student help? All right. Travel and conference, we're increasing by $300. Why are we doing that? Well, word got out today about national travel, and across the board, every single organization that is doing national travel, including us, has seen a dramatic increase in prices, more than what we actually anticipated. We knew it was going to go up, but it increased more. So we're putting a general request for additional $300 right now. Honestly, that'd be enough to cover us to have a second vehicle to travel somewhere, because as we saw this year, it's the first time in many years we took 2 vehicles to a WSG meeting. That's almost unheard of prior to this year. So we are seeing an increase in cost, and we're also seeing that additional folks are wanting to go, whether they're Senate folks, our district board liaison, or some students have now approached me to attend at a WSG meeting in the future who are just simply interested, and maybe they will join Senate. Right now is the best time than ever to ask for that additional $300. It just kind of makes sense because next year, that number is going to have to jump dramatically. As of right now, to send folks to Student Government Institute, for some of y'all who attended, some of y'all who may not know, Student Government Institute is held by NACA. It is just a large-scale student government conference, allows a lot of us to come together from across the nation to talk about what our student senates are doing. For 5 people to attend, so 4 students myself, is almost $5,000. That's registration fees. Our budget will cover that for this year because we are very frugal, and I'll be honest with you, fiscally make sure we are responsible, spend money on random things that are set forth. So that is why that number is the way that it is for 10,000. Again, that's not going to make a gigantic difference, but it allows us to have additional resources for vehicles, or maybe we have that set aside for when we want to do our travel into the future. Ash, you asked, why did we reduce the number from 3,500 to 3,300, and then why is it still going to be so high, correct? Reasons to be high is because if you spend the money in your budget, you never want to give it back, and I don't want to give back whatever they did, the change in the amount is. So, in all honesty, we paid $2,400 for the Clarion ads. We got, I think we got a little bit of a discount this time around, which is why we're able to utilize that number. And because we have that money there and it's already set into our budget, I don't want to really move from it. Why is it $200 less? We actually adjusted it and took $200 from the advertising budget and put it to the food budget. We saw such great success and a lot of conversations and a lot of wanting to continue with the program was set into our welcome, that actually affords us an entire week to do another type of program. So again, it allows us to have just additional monies into that. The rest you can see are going to remain the same: memberships and subscriptions. The bulk of that set aside is for us to be members of Wisconsin Student Government. We have to pay an annual fee to participate. That's based off of our full-time enrollments. Supplies have been stagnant at 1,300 because we, again, have been fiscally responsible. Haven't really had to increase that for Imprint because they offer us such great deals. We're able to utilize that in a very effective way. And then printing, we actually doubled that. Last year, we doubled it from 400 to 800. And as of right now, we're on par to spend about $670. Looking at all other things. Longer than 10 minutes, so I apologize for that, but I want to make sure y'all are understanding of where this money is going to go to and how. We have to detail out in our 3-year plan what the money goes to, what we have it earmarked for. That's how we knew we were going to order jackets this year, because we earmarked, we need to buy more. And so now we're able to say, okay, that's been settled. We don't need as much there. Can we move this around? And it's a beautiful thing with how Madison College allows us to operate our budgets. I cannot take any money from student health and put it anywhere else. Likewise, we can't take any money from anywhere else and put it into student health. Everything else, though, from travel and conference on to advertising, is in one big pot, so we have flexibility. So let's say we don't spend all of the advertising budget and we want to do something additional in terms of like student outreach and support. We have additional monies there that we can use, and so it allows us to have that flexibility.
Percent increase is 1.77. I know the inflation rate in the United States is higher than that.
Sure.
Is this money going to go as far as it went this year, given the marginal increase we're hoping for?
So I'm going to say effectively, I hope so. The reason I say that is because for travel itself, we have our number one budget thing that we run into is NAP. We want to attend it. That's always going to be a high dollar amount. Everything else with that has actually been relatively flat. We are not paying additional for our rental vehicles through Enterprise. That's actually probably our second largest thing, is having to take rental vehicles. Through discounts and other opportunities, that's remained relatively flat. The biggest question mark, and this is why next year, because we're not going to increase student help, we'll have to look at other parts of our budget, actually is food. We're leading a charge on it right now, right? Y'all are leading a charge on food pricing and accessibility. Truthfully, we're seeing catering prices go up, and we have to use catering as right of first refusal for any of our stuff before we can go outside of that. Student life is seeing it as well with Wolfpack Welcome, our orientation program. They're raising prices, and so with that, will $1,600 make it that far? This would be a good challenge to see, because I know, like myself, other organizations, I'm assuming other student organizations, student life, be ready to lead a fight against, why are we paying this much money for a plate of fruit? I know I've already done that, but we're not the only ones that do recognition events. We're not the only ones that do banquets, stuff like that. Like, stuff costs money, and if I'm going to pay additional, right, like we've all talked about, either I want to see more of it, or the quality has to be better. So yes, to answer your question. The other thing to consider with it when you look at a percent increase in our budget, in terms of items and such, it's always going to be a toss up. They just increased pricing for copying and printing, but thankfully we kind of already addressed that increase, so we're not going to run a shortfall. But with like student health, for example, because that is our largest thing, right? I hate to say it, I'm just gonna tell you all this. Student Senate, the compensation you receive from here was never designed for you to be able to live off of. It's not. And so that is one of the things we also take consideration is that what we're looking to do is provide events or opportunities for students to kind of get a positive experience, but it's gonna be that short term. It's not gonna be for the long term. If that changes in the future, awesome. I think we mentioned at the beginning of the year, some of y'all are new. We are one of the only student governments, I can honestly say in the Midwest, minus probably 3 other schools, that actually pays every single one of you. Most other schools only pay the president. One school I know pays the president, the vice president, and the speaker. And they actually have more people on their Senate than we do. So it is a blessing and a curse that we are able to afford that opportunity, but I will be honest with you, this is not made to make a dent in something. It's made to reward you for the folks that are hourly for the time that you're putting in at that specific moment. And we do have to track that, unfortunately. So hourly people, we track that closer than anybody else. But for the rest of y'all, it's on the success of the work and the completion that you achieve, which is why we're now measuring that twice a semester so that we can actually pay you earlier. Because otherwise we wait to the end of the semester and that's no fun for everybody. Other questions? What's up?
Do you ever get a partial refund for the NACA situation?
No, but I'm going to be advocating for
Betting?
well, yes, that's a different story. That's me arguing with them.
Yeah.
There are certain things that we're going to be advocating for this year because I've gotten wind of where SGI is going to be this year. And because of the distance and because of the cost of travel and such,
Right.
that there should be some flexibility allotted in that, even if it's as simple as can someone show up literally just a day early to avoid travel.
Right.
Because many other places, I'm gonna tell you, I've seen folks that travel by airfare to conferences, they're taking 2 or 3 people max. And that's on the cheapest thing with the most layovers and the most connecting flights. And if I can afford us not to do that, I hope you all like sitting with each other for 6, 7, 8 hours because it's cheaper and I can guarantee you will make it there and not break the bank. That's why we have to travel to Indy. What's up?
Obviously, this entire budget's not going to get spent for our current fiscal year. What happens to excess money? That goes to college, right?
No, student fee money cannot go to the college. So if we don't spend it, it goes back to just the general student fee money in reserves. That's the beautiful thing about student fees is that the college is not allowed to touch them. Student fees are student fees. It's 100% paid through student fees, which is why we try to use all the budget. We're gonna use about 98% of it this year. Yep. I also tell you, we will spend every single dollar experience-wise, but also you all are filling a role to better advocate for students. We're gonna spend it. I don't agree with spending 7% hoping for the rest. We will spend every dollar. Cents will be left. What's up?
I don't know if this is a stupid question or not, sorry, but if with like food and everything too, you said you might not know with like increases in food prices and everything, you have the percentage increase at 1.77, why not just round that up to 2?
Good point. So I guess the main reason is because I'm trying to keep us in a realm that next year we can make a larger request.
Okay.
For those of you who maybe attended SAB last year, there's almost none of you actually. It's like Annette and maybe Quinn. There were some arguments happening over the student senate budget, mainly because of the student health increase. So we are having to look at this from an effective lens of what's going to allow us to be successful this year and then allows us to make a change for next year, because if we're also seeing students want to participate more, it allows us to justify additional monies. Good question though. Yes.
You said we're gonna spend roughly 98%. What aren't we spending all of?
The only thing that we may not spend the entirety of is copying and printing, because honestly, I'm just kind of surprised at the dollar amounts that are there. And the supply budget. So the bill is looking at what, $1,200 for the supply budget? So $100 there, $60 copy and printing. Honestly, just how the rest of it goes, because again, they all be pulled from the same thing. Let's say we go to NACA and it costs us additional monies. We can pull money that isn't used from other areas, and that would justify.
We got like $160 to spend on a new rug.
After we see how everything else plays out, maybe. You all have a process for that, so follow your process. All right, anything else for me? Again, I've gone way over time probably, but I'd rather you all be educated than say, oh, we pay for all this.
So Cole, if you,
Appreciate it.
Yes,
if we are 98%, can we do pizza party in last meeting?
maybe.
If we have food.
Flexible, right?
We have one question.
Yeah.
How has the student activities, fund changed over time? We're asking for 1.7% more than last time. It's the whole pot, at least 1.7% larger.
Yeah, so we actually, our reserves, last I remember from last year, your average is like
She was late today.
5 to like 14% of what you take in should be in reserves. I think we were sitting at almost 20. Like, we've been very fiscally responsible in student life, which is why we could get away with some of the increases last year, like the pay increase, because it allowed us to pay down some of those reserves that I think it's by campus policy should be within the acceptable range. The fee, I believe, is allowed to be, the fee itself is actually allowed to be increased by up to 3% as you have, if we choose to do that. Last year it was very minimal. I think it was like a 1% increase or something. It was like, we saw a less than $3 increase, I believe. In total, they didn't go by percentage, they went by dollar. So that will continue to adjust just overall. And if you're actually interested in this, I believe that we're getting a presentation tomorrow at SAD about some of those final projections. And if you would like to learn more about it. So we're still within realm. We're still going to not see a dramatic decrease in the overall amount of the reserves, but we are trying to spend more because it's also not a great look when you're taking in student money and then you're just letting it sit. Got to be able to use it, but trying to be fiscally responsible too. Good question. Is 80% done? You all will see the final amount when we get the presentation on the 26th. That may or may not include other changes if they come up. I have been told we can increase as much as 2.5% for our budget. But if we're going to increase it, we have to have justification as to why. If we don't have justification, we're not doing it. Cool. Cool. I'm done talking.
Cool. Great. Well, moving on from new business, non-business housekeeping. You got something?
Just if you are still interested in wanting to serve on IT council, let me know. We can talk about that, but we saw that vacancy and we'd like to fill IT council if we can.
Can we talk? How can we talk, like here, or you want?
Send me an email or a team message first, then I will find date times that they meet, that way I can send that to you.
Okay.
And we can consider if it works or not.
Yeah,
Cool.
that's good.
Sweet, thank you. Oh, go ahead.
I just want to speak on behalf of Cole. Watch your emails because tabling availability will be spat out at you. And he has been nice enough to, collaborate with me in trying to make this as smooth of a process as possible for each and every one of you. So hopefully it works out. And if you have any questions, either ask either of us, and we'll definitely try to see what we can do in terms of something's suddenly not working. Please let us know. But
Great housekeeping. Use your emails. What's up?
I just had a quick question. Do you guys want us to respond if, like, for example, on Tuesdays, the class from 8:30 until 1 PM? You want to know when we actually can't take? Because
I mean,
I have class literally like that.
I mean, what I had done previously before we went on winter break was got all of the tabling availability from everyone.
Okay.
So that one to me that you guys filled out, if that is not current and there is an issue with what you get via email, and you see that something's just not gonna work, just email Cole or myself and we'll try to figure that out.
Okay. It's probably not current for most.
Well, that's the whole point is before we ended up going on winter break and such, everything was concluding. So I had specifically requested for your spring availability because everybody was in full.
So if that changes, we'll definitely.
We'll get figure it out. Yeah. Anything to get figured out? Nicole, we'll talk to BP Search a little bit here. Looking around for any other housekeeping. Here, don't all speak at once. We'll move to announcements. Here's our last lovely misprint. Our next meeting will not be on February 6th. It will be on February 12th. A Thursday, yet again, in this same room, C2402 at 4:30 PM.
Point of information.
Yeah.
There's an art show gallery that started like 45 minutes ago. It's downstairs on the first floor. I believe it's for Black History Month. Today's the opening. It's super cool. Urge you to check it out.
Very cool. Any other announcements to make?
I would like to make a motion that join.
Well,
We're
we
not-
have-
I cannot do that.
You have the same or an announcement? Technically.
Oh, I was just
Okay.
gonna second.
Oh,
I would like to make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
okay, we have a motion to adjourn the meeting. Can I have a second from Senator Crowder? Any discussion? Looking around, seeing none, hearing none. I will adjourn this meeting in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Motion is passed. Thank you all. Get out of here.
Good job for Con.